LS2 Preferences allows you to modify your weekly and daily calendars for selected locations. The weekly calendar settings, which are found under Location Setup, Calendar, defines your library's normal hours of operation. Once you configure the weekly calendar, you can set up the daily calendar if you want to modify any specific days or times for holidays, adjustments to hours, etc. The weekly calendar is initially set up during implementation based on the days and hours you provided. However, if you need to make changes at any time, you can adjust the settings accordingly. To modify the weekly calendar, select your location from the drop-down list. Here's an example of a weekly calendar setup shown with available hours and close days for the Taylor location. Click the day of the week you want to make changes to. A Schedule for the Selected Day dialog opens, allowing you to modify the opening and closing times for your location. Clear the checkbox for Library is normally open on this day of the week if you want the selected day to display as closed. Modify the opens at or closes at time by typing the new time in the box or by using the pop-up clock to make the modification. Review to ensure that you have the correct AM or PM setting. Select the Closes the next day checkbox if you are closing after midnight. Click Save to save your changes. Click Copy Schedule to other locations for a pop-up list of all of the configured locations. Highlight the locations that you want to modify with the schedule you just created. Click Save to retain the changes for the selected location. As a note, due dates and times are calculated to reflect the schedule established on these calendars. Checked out items are due only when the library is open for business. Now let's take a look at the daily calendar. The daily calendar, under Location Setup, Calendar, allows you to override the settings for the weekly calendar for specific days such as holidays or different hours of operation. The daily calendar opens to display 4 months at a time, with the current month and year selected by default. Select the location you want to modify from the Location drop-down list. Click the date you want to make changes to. The default for the Selected Date dialog displays at the bottom of the page if the date was never modified. If you want the library to show a different schedule for hours, modify the Opens at and Closes at settings. Click the clock icon to adjust the hours and minutes, or type in the time. The date displays in blue to let you know that a change has been made. The Overridden for the Selected Date dialog displays if you are making changes to a date that was previously modified. You can either modify the date again, or click the date to exit out of the change. If you want the library closed on the selected date, clear the checkbox for Library is open on the selected dates. Click Save. The date displays in red to show you that the library is closed. Click Use Default to return to the original settings for the weekly calendar. If you want to make the same change to more than one location at a time, click Save to Multiple Locations and select the locations from the pop-up list. For more information, view the associated videos for LS2 preferences.